stories happening in PG. What is one funny story like that that you encountered?
God, I can't tell this one thing, okay? Like that patient will find me and they will sue me. No, but you have to do your PG to live it. Like you can't. Labor room, when you're in the labor room, you're like so stressed and all. The minute your shift is over, you find everything funny in labor room. Everything. Every patient is just another story, okay? I mean, I'm telling you, OBG, nobody likes OBG because it's a lot of hard work and they're like, people are always shouting, screaming and all. But I'm telling you, like, okay, don't take it in the wrong way, but OBG is the most entertaining branch ever. Everything is so, like, okay, when you are on duty, you are really stressed out. I'm not gonna diminish that amount of stress that we feel, okay, because we're dealing with two lives, the baby and the mother. And out of which one we can't even see with our naked eye. We don't know what's happening inside the baby. We have to use a clinical judgment. We have to use the thousand machines to figure out, okay, and the entire point of our branch is to give them a healthy baby and a healthy mother, right? OBG is the one branch where the patient, when they come to you, they are not sick. You understand?
Yeah.
So then the people waiting outside are expecting two healthy people out. Okay. So it's a lot of more added pressure when you go to medicine, when you go to surgery,
Introduce yourself to the people who will be watching the episode.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah. Where did you do your medicine from? What made you choose medicine at the first place? And what are some words that best describe you and medicine as a profession?
Okay. So I finished my schooling from Delhi, Springdale School, Dholatwa. Okay, I did my till 12th. I did there. Then after that, I moved to Pune, Bharatiya Vidyapeeth Medical College. Okay, I did my UG from there. But I did my internship from Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi. Then I joined over here in KMC Mangalore right now, and I'm final year of post graduation now. In a few months, I should be done. So yeah, that's the
That's
thing.
great. Something to look forward to.
Definitely.
What are 3 words that you think describe you?
3 words. One is I'm more like a paradox. Like, I'll be very outgoing outside, but once I come home, I'm an introvert. I'll just like want to sleep or like, just be lazy. When I'm outside, I'm very much on my feet, okay, do this, do that, and get this done, guys. But at home or like when I'm out of the hospital, I'm very laid back and chill. Yeah, fine, okay, we'll see. So yes, I'm like a very nice paradox of everything. That thing is like very special. If you know me in the hospital and you know me outside of the hospital, it's like two different people. Then yeah, I'll say the second one will be hardworking. You have to be hardworking if you want to, continue in this line, especially OBG. It is nothing short of every day is a hustle. You can't, and you have to really love OBG to be able to do that hustle, every day. Even for that matter, the ones who want to take a medicine, there will be some days in your UG life where you will be like, okay, I just can't do this anymore, like, why did I do medicine? In your third year, your peers will be graduating, especially the ones who take up non-professional courses, they'll be graduating. Then you'll tell yourself, okay, at least the engineers are there with me, okay. Then next year, they will also graduate. And guess what? You are still studying. You're not even in your internship, okay. Then you will see that by the time you finish your internship, the non-professional course people have done their post-graduation also, and you've just gotten your first degree. So, it really, really, really requires a lot of mental strength also to remind yourself why you began this journey and like, okay, keep at it, don't worry, keep going. But then you know what, actually, it's a lot of fun. It's just a myth that, doctors study a lot. No, nothing. I think in UG life, the amount of fun we have had is crazy, okay? And so, yeah, that is that. And the third word I will say is I'm very dedicated. Like, if I'm in the hospital, I'm 110% in the hospital. Nothing doing, even if calls from home, something happens, nothing. If I'm there, I'm there. If I'm with a patient, if a patient comes under my care, I am one of those people who will remember the hemoglobin value, also who will remember what happened in the last. Like every small thing is like, you can wake me up at any odd hour. and tell me, okay, that patient with hypertension, what was the last BP? I will tell you the last 3 days ka BP, okay. It is like, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's like one of those
That I feel
timetable
that is a good
combinations,
thing. I feel that is a good thing. Would have helped you a lot with the exams.
Yeah, no. That is only because in practicals I'm good. Okay, for theory I still have to read a lot. Okay, like if I know the concept, then it's take what. But to get to the concept is, but that is how you should study, especially if you're planning to do medicine. Try to grasp the concepts, because medicine is so volatile. If you try to just rote learn it, it's gonna go away very soon. Give it some time, give every topic some time, get the concept, and then you don't have to even revise it probably till like 5, 6 months later. So that's just
That
it.
makes sense. You said that you're going to complete your PG soon. So, when you're
Yeah.
done with your PG, what is one thing that you're going to miss?
Miss everything about it. Okay, like when you're in the PG, you're like cribbing all the time. Oh my God, so many patients today, so many this, so many that. But the thing is, we are not realizing how many memories we are making. Only in your post graduation you'll realize, oh my God, that patient just decided to run away with half a cannula in, half a cannula out. That patient has done this. All these funny stories when you finish your PG, when you become a consultant, and all, then you don't see all this behind the scene wala thing. Only as a postgraduate, what's actually happening in the hospital, all the small things that, sometimes we try to cover up and say, oh, no, ma'am, everything was fine. Patient was absolutely fine. But we know in the night how much the patient has troubled us, okay? So everything, and in your friends that you make in your post-graduation, they become your biggest support system. Like we are 10 of us in each batch, okay? And the 10 of us only know what each of us are going through. We are away from our families, and in this COVID situation, we can't even go back home. Rather, sometimes we prefer not going back home, because we don't know if we are positive or not. We see patients daily, like in our hospital, daily OPD goes around 200. Basic average is 200 patients. So out of them, how many are positive, we don't know, right? Because most of them are asymptomatic. So we only sometimes tend to avoid going back home. Like, okay, then your friends become your family. If you cry, they're the first people to come. If you're hungry, you've not slept since 2 days, they will be the first ones to come. Okay, you go sleep, you're here for 2 hours. If you have too much work, they'll all just come, and they're like, okay, we can do this, we'll all work. But then all that won't happen once you finish your post-graduation. So I think I'm going to miss my batchmates the most over here. Once we leave, then, they won't be there. So yeah.
So you said that there are a lot of funny behind the stories happening in PG. What is one funny story like that you encountered?
God, I can't tell this one thing, okay? Like that patient will find me and they will sue me. No, but you have to do your PG to live it. Like you can't. Labor room, when you're in the labor room, you're like so stressed and all. The minute your shift is over, you find everything funny in labor room. Everything. Every patient is just another story, okay? I mean, I'm telling you, OBG, nobody likes OBG because it's a lot of hard work and they're like, people are always shouting, screaming and all. But I'm telling you, like, okay, don't take it in the wrong way, but OBG is the most entertaining branch ever. Everything is so, like, okay, when you are on duty, you are really stressed out. I'm not gonna diminish that amount of stress that we feel, okay, because we're dealing with two lives, the baby and the mother. And out of which one we can't even see with our naked eye. We don't know what's happening inside the baby. We have to use a clinical judgment. We have to use the thousand machines to figure out, okay. And the entire point of our branch is to give them a healthy baby and a healthy mother, right? OBG is the one branch where the patient, when they come to you, they are not sick. You understand?
Yeah.
So then the people waiting outside are expecting two healthy people out. Okay. So it's a lot of more added pressure. When you go to medicine, when you go to surgery, you are sick. Your family is prepared for some mishap. You understand? In OBG, they are
They're
expecting good
prepared for
news.
good news, yeah.
Yeah. So it's more of a mental stress for us. But once
Added
the
pressure,
shift is
yeah.
over, then you're like, in retrospect, everything is funny in OBG. But yeah, I mean, or maybe that's just, how we've
Try to lighten the
practiced to
mood,
become
yeah.
now. Because otherwise, you can't do OBG. It's just like horrible. Like there are days when we don't leave the hospital. There are some days when we can leave the hospital, but we are so tired. We'll just sleep here. Yeah. In 4 hours, we have to come back again. Like I can't. We'll just go to bed here only. So that is the thing. But yeah. Most of them are really
What
rare.
made you choose OBGYN as the specialty?
Okay, I when I joined MBBS, I always knew I wanted to be a surgeon. There was not even a single shred of doubt that I can do medicine. Okay, there are many reasons for that. Okay, I'm not saying surgery is better than medicine or anything. No, no, no. It is me. Okay, I am someone who is like, very hyperactive. No, no, no. I want instant results. Okay. In medicine, you need to have lots of patience. You've given some medicine. It has to act. You have to follow up. In surgery, okay, this part is bad, let's just cut it. And we're done with it. Even more instant gratification comes in OBG. Okay, patient is pregnant, we can deliver the patient, let's deliver the patient. And that's it. You see instant results. Okay, some emergency has happened, emergency section right now. Okay, baby is out, baby is fine, mother is fine, instant results. So that was one thing, I was like, yeah, this is nice. And if you end up taking MBBS, which I'm sure you will, because I can see your passion, okay? Then you will remember my words that you will never forget your first, that delivery which you conduct or the delivery which you see also, you will never forget it, okay? It is the most magical thing that happens. I mean, some people might not agree, okay? Some people who faint when they see their first, labor room case or stuff, they will not, but like, I remember when I saw my first, labor room delivery, it was in the second year when we start going to the hospital, right? I was like, first they was shocked, like, what is happening? How is that big, huge, like, baby coming out of such a tiny place, okay? Then once the baby was out and the baby cried, that, shot just turned into like, this, wow, did this miracle just happen? Like it was nothing short of a miracle. Even as the person in science, even now that, I understand the mechanism behind it, it is still miraculous. I'm telling you, some babies which we feel can't make it will make it. Some babies which we are sure will make it, sometimes don't. So, it just makes me believe in miracles every day. Every day I will see some miracle happening in the hospital. It's beautiful. So OBG is just amazing, that way. It is
That's
a lot
great.
of hard work compared to other clinics, but if you love OBG, you will do OBG. You will know this in your internship. Everyone will keep asking me, when did you know, when did you have like internship? You conduct your first delivery, you will know if you're meant to be an OBG or not. End of story. That's it.
That's
So, yeah.
great. You talked about fainting. I've heard a lot of stories and seen it from personally from my family members who are in medicine. A lot of people faint while they are dissecting bodies for the first time. Did it happen with you as well?
I told you, right? I was like always wanting to be a surgeon. In fact, I remember in my dissection hall, okay, like I was that hyperactive. Yeah, I'll finish everything first. Once I get bored, then I'll let somebody, yeah, fine, now you're doing okay. I've done my
Now I'm
quota for
good.
the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm bored, okay. Because I'm hyperactive, right? Once I'm done with this, I'll go. And if I see somebody else teaching something, I'll go there. Then I'll go there. So I won't sit on my table also. I'll keep jumping everywhere. Then I remember one thing, because this was like, I can't believe I did that. Okay, so when you start your head and neck dissection, right, in your anatomy classes, first thing they do is they remove the brain. Okay, so they'll chisel and they'll remove the brain. Okay, I was so excited for that day. I remember, and I had lots of tall boys in my batch. So they all like, I think I went like some 5 minutes late that day, so I didn't get to stand in the front. Okay, so there were like a lot of tall people in front of me, and I took a stool and I stood up, okay, on the stool. And I'm thinking, and the brain came out. I started clapping. I'm like, yeah, the brain is out. And then my professor turns back. She's like, you know what, Nilashma? In my 17 years of career, I have never seen anyone clap when the brain came out. I'm like, ma'am, exciting, ma'am. This is so exciting. She still remembers when I finished my MBBS and all, I went to thank her, okay, because, she was the one who taught me how to hold a scalpel and everything. So, like, I'm still very grateful to my anatomy professor. And then ma'am is like,
So as you were talking about everything, BioTale's monthly issue this time is on menstruations and menstruations as a taboo. We have seen a lot of movies and documentaries which are starting to bring that topic into conversation. But what do you think? What is the major reason for menstruations being a taboo in not only in underdeveloped countries but in developed countries as well?
See, it is something which was there from the ancient ages. Okay, a lot of ancient scriptures also have portrayed periods as a bad thing. They've portrayed it as a disease. They have portrayed it as something which makes women weak. You understand? For something which was imbibed in our culture ages and ages ago, it's gonna take time to change that perception, right? From okay, we are all blessed enough to be, being born in good families. So we were given the right to question, to ask, to explore. You understand? We should not forget that that basic right also is not given to a lot of women. Okay. They were passed on the knowledge which their mothers, which their grandmothers had, who were also not allowed to question or think or act any differently. And they are taught to pass on the same knowledge to the next generation. You understand? You have to understand how society works and understand, okay. It is hearsay. The most common form of communication is hearsay. Because even technology and social media and even a basic television, as you say, okay, it's not available to everyone. Their knowledge comes from what they hear, comes from what happens in the society around them, what has been happening for very, very, very long. We need community leaders, the people that they look up to. If they get educated, if they are made to understand about this, then they can propagate that knowledge, you know, in them, because they are the ones who will be telling them what to do. Even in the smallest community, there will always be that one person to whom everybody else looks up to. You understand? Our target should be that one person. If we can get through those community leaders, in fact, for some, in some places, you can say even the religious leaders. You understand? If they start, destigmatizing menstruation, that will be a big thing, especially that is a grassroots level. Okay, now that, at least when social media, everyone is talking about, the movies coming out, film stars are talking about it, okay? So at least the ones who have an access to it are now, talking more freely about it. Okay, let me give an example. In your school also, I'm pretty sure nobody says period. Nobody did
Not
in
at
my
all.
school.
Not at all. Everyone is like
Nobody in
that
my
time
school
of the
said it.
month. Yeah, that time of
That
the
time
month.
was
I'm not well.
Mehman I have, my God, this Mehman I have, it took me some 3-4 months to figure out ये क्या बोल रहे हैं ये ठीक है मेहमान आए तो सबको क्यों बता रहे हैं इनके घर पे आए हैं ना ठीक है. It took me some 3-4 months later when my friend told me, hey, go, that means she's on the period. I'm like, no, इसमें क्या बात है? Because in my family, it was never like this. In fact,
Yeah.
even today when I go on my period, I tell everyone, I put on the family group, hey guys, my periods are because, especially because I have PCOS, okay, so I have to be very careful with my cycles and all. So I will announce it to everyone, I am on my period, yeah, okay. And that has been how I was brought up. Nobody in my family going, shh, the periods have come. Don't say it, okay? Shh. No, nothing like that, okay? But then I was so shocked in my school. I'm like, अच्छा मेहमान आए हैं. फिर something on this, there was this set of popular people, okay? They used to say I forgot, something like very, that also took me very long to understand. This also means periods, okay? And all this
It's funny how
jokes
people
are being
how
done.
funny people create these side terms for periods rather than just saying it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is done by educated people. You understand? So, in a way, it is a misconception that people who are educated are talking about periods very
Yeah.
freely.
Even
No,
educated people are like very shy. They're like, no, we won't talk about it. It might not be
yes,
good for our image and whatnot. Like, I found this quite shocking. So recently what we did was a lot of my team members of BioTale, and we went ahead in slum areas. So all of the maids in our areas, we told them that come in this community park with your daughters and everyone, whoever you know, and we distributed them with free pads. So while we were distributing, we talked with them, we conversed about periods, and most of them were, what are you talking about? Please don't talk about this in the open, or why are you doing this and whatnot. So the speculations, like what, like, it's not easy for them to talk about. And I had a friend with me who comes from a very privileged society, who is educated. She is the same age as me. Even she was shy. She's like, what are you doing? This is so funny. Don't do this here. So it's like people are getting educated, but still they don't want to stop this taboo. They don't want to break it. It is quite shocking and quite the bitter truth about the society, I guess. You talked about having PCOS. A lot of girls, a lot of women have PCOS. They don't realize they have it, or they just think that, okay, they are getting delayed cycles because of stress or whatnot. How do you think that the stigma around PCOS can be, changed? A lot of girls who are fat, and if they don't get periods, their mothers are like, okay, you're fat because of PCOS, or okay, you are not getting the periods because of PCOS. They just put the term so freely rather than realizing that there are other things that can happen as well. So what are your views on that?
See, there are two things. First, again, culturally and historically, women's health was never considered important. You understand? That has somehow, unfortunately, seeped down in our society even today. Okay, a lot of people will disregard this menstrual complaints. ठीक है ना यार, कोई नहीं. Okay, even dysmenorrhea, which is severe pain during your period, is disregarded. Okay, nobody cares. And even for that matter, unfortunately, again, women in our society have been, like, ingrained that, you should put your needs after someone else's. So they will keep suffering in silence, thinking, okay, fine, leave it, nothing to be done. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Till the time it becomes very late. Okay. Second, again, in India especially, I don't know. I mean, my mother used to do this sometimes. Okay. She's here only, she hit me. So if I used to fall sick, okay, I'll tell Mama, Mama, I have fever. She'll check. Fine, 99, okay. And then if she catches me watching TV, she'll be like, you're bimar, no? Go act like a bimar and go to bed. Okay. In India, unfortunately, because again, maybe it's because, girls and all were not ever allowed to talk or speak, and now we've started talking, okay. Um, they don't, it's not affecting them, you understand? They're still healthy, they're still able to function. You see, when you go to a doctor in India, there is, people don't understand the concept of health checkups. ये क्या होता है पता ही नहीं. मैं तो ठीक हूँ ना, मैं क्यों जाऊँ डॉक्टर के पास? As long as you are able to do your daily function, no, nobody comes to the hospital. Nobody. Because PCOS does not hamper your daily day-to-day functioning, does not hamper your livelihood, they will not come to the hospital. Okay. So again, it is a disease which 1 in every 3 women have it. But we don't see those many cases in the hospital because they don't come forward because of all these social and various other reasons. You understand? So we should talk more about it. Okay, the more and more people realize, okay, okay, my cycles have not come regular for a long time, or I'm not able to conceive. And again, one more thing, it's a myth that only fat girls have PCOS. One of my very
Yeah.
closest friends is like the thinnest person I know, and she also has it. You understand? There's something known as a lean PCOS also. Okay. So overall, I will say that, it is a good thing to just go for a general physical examination at least yearly or minimum 2 साल में एक बार चले जाओ. Okay, especially for like, and it is, and again, people don't discuss freely about their cycles and all in front of gynecologists also. Also, one of the reasons for this can be because they don't think it is important to keep a tab on their menstrual cycles. Okay, very rarely do I come across a patient who's very sure, no, doctor, I have marked my calendar, it is this date. You understand? There are many terms related to just, like, you can imagine an entire branch of medicine has been dedicated just to menstruation, OBG. Okay, so how complex that mechanism has to be. So a thing which everyone must do, like, at a baseline level, I'll say, is keep a tab of your menstrual cycles. You don't have to download any fancy app, nothing doing. Okay, my OBGYN when I was in college had this one sheet of paper, like how you have your yearly calendar sort of a thing. In that, she just told me to just write the dates. Okay, then I downloaded this fancy app on my phone, and there's a dog which reminds me, okay, your periods are coming and all. Okay, and all that is like you can do that also. But just like in one piece of diary, or in, you can make a note on your phone also. You can just write when it started, when it ended. Any, complaints of severe pain which didn't allow you to do your day-to-day work, which made you skip school, for example, okay, which made you take medicine. All that should be documented. Any headache, any nausea, you feel like vomiting and excessive back pain and all that should be documented. All the symptoms you should not disregard. Okay. And sudden excessive hair growth, especially, around the chin area, beard area, okay, in your center over here, excessive hair growth, hair fall, okay, on your head. So these are the things caused by the androgenic hormones, okay. So all of these are sudden symptoms, okay, and sudden weight gain if it is not a lean facious variety, okay. So all that should not be disregarded, okay. And it's always good to consult an OBGYN. Okay, I understand it's a lifestyle disorder, okay, you have to exercise only, okay, ultimately I might also tell you that only, but if you come to me, I can at least do a basic level workup, okay, then that becomes your baseline level, then I can see how better, or how if you worsen from that situation, you understand? So mostly, yeah, even if you feel you're healthy, you should go to a doctor, is what I'll keep telling everyone. They will wait till they're very sick and then they will come and say, Acha, good you came. Now you tell me what you want me to do. You understand? So
That's actually a good advice. Like, they will go to the doctor at the end moment, and when the doctor is not able to fix it, they will be like, doctor की ही गलती थी. Yeah.
but it's not a bad
Doctor's
thing. You
fault.
need to understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, how you talk that a lot of people do not give attention to menstrual cycles and everything. I feel the only attention that is given to menstrual cycle is when someone is trying to conceive a baby. That is when they focus on their women's health are actually considered ki baby kyun nahi ho raha hai, isme kya galti hai, and all of that stuff. They're labeled and whatnot. Also, talking about people having fake theories and whatnot, a lot of fake theories related to menstruations, reproduction, bearing a child, and all of that after getting vaccinated are flowing around. I'm sure you would have read those
So
from
many.
WhatsApp University and whatnot.
So
What
many.
are your
I
views
will
on
get
that?
these also.
Yeah, what are
So,
your
okay, so
views on
as
that?
of now, the latest guidelines are telling, yeah, that you can take the vaccination during pregnancy. Okay, so yeah, you can go ahead with it. But yeah, at the same time, a lot of these complaints are also coming that because of vaccination, the cycles have become shorter or longer. Again, nothing to worry about. Over a matter of few days, it will again regularize. You understand? So as far as the studies that have come by now, there is no major side effect about on infertility also. Nothing like that has come forward as of now. So yes, please get vaccinated. I'm exhausted. As a frontline worker, I am really exhausted. Okay, मुझे घर जाना है. So yeah, but it's okay. But yeah, as of now, we have started advising our patients also. A lot of them are. But the good part is, as of the previous 3 OPDs, at least once or twice, the patients have come up to me and themselves asked me if we should get vaccinated or not. I was very happy. I was saying, yes, the word is getting around and people are coming forward to, actually asking themselves. I was happy that time.
That's
Yeah.
actually nice. I've I've seen this not only about vaccinations. I've seen this with people, women who have had COVID as well, or people who have had COVID as well and have menstrual cycles. One of my friends asked me this question, who is not in a medical section. She's like, "Why are my periods more painful after getting COVID?" Or why, even in her family, she was just telling me generally like, why are periods more painful after COVID? So I didn't know the answer for that. And what do you think is the answer for that? Is it just a myth that people are
Yeah,
having?
actually, there is no there's no scientific correlation as of now. Okay. So, but yeah, if sometimes you feel like that, it's always good to go and show it to a doctor. Okay. But then again, there's nothing to worry about. Because sometimes, you need to understand the situation right now. Okay. It is very easy to sit at home, okay, and read the articles and all. But the panic the stress that I see in the patients daily. COVID treatment, maximum what we do is we give them zinc, vitamin C, and some medicines. Okay. Unfortunately, there is only when the patient becomes very sick is the need for doctors. You understand? That is the when we do an active, aggressive intervention. But COVID has caused such a fear. Okay, I understand some very infectious disease and all that. It has some of them have really bad outcomes. I have lost so many patients. It's not even. I mean, it's horrible. Okay, now what we're seeing every day. But at the same time, we're also seeing a lot of patients recover now. But because of that panic, because of the baseline stress associated with COVID, people are associating a lot of unnecessary things with it. You understand? So sometimes it can be just nothing. At the other times, because it is very uncertain, this the effects of COVID on such things, it is always good to just go to a doctor. Always, I will always suggest go see a local OBGYN. Okay, she might want to work you up. You understand? When you tell me symptoms like that on the call, I can think, okay, yeah, maybe it's nothing, but it's always good to just get one, scan done and see if something, because you never know, right? With COVID, she could have had something else also. Okay, and because of COVID, she became more vigilant of her symptoms, and she's relating it to her COVID. So, you learn all this in MBBS, okay, to see a patient as a whole, not just the physical illness, but you have to see their, psychology also at that point of view. You have to understand the stress that comes with the disease, not just the physical, the mental stress, oh my God, what will happen to me? What will happen to my family? So, yeah,
That makes
either
a
way.
lot of sense. Again, all of this comes down to people or women or people who menstruate going to doctors. They are not free or willing to talk about. Um,
Yeah, you can buy a very very like a dress from H&M and Zara without thinking twice. Okay, trust me, you will pay 10 times less to your doctor. Okay, so
yeah,
just go to an OB/GYN. It's always good. In abroad, especially, it's compulsory because they have the social security numbers and their insurance depends on their health checkup and all. It's compulsory over there to schedule your health checkups and go. In India, I'm telling you, by the time they come to us, they're like, yeah. Sometimes you're like, this could have been so easily preventable had you just come like a few months back. And now you're coming to us and they're like, even we don't know what to do. Like, okay, fine, we will use all our medical knowledge. We'll contact everyone possible and try to get you out of it. But it's just come, please. We don't eat people. We are nice people. So yeah, that's right.
from your Instagram, which I personally love a lot, all of the reels, all of the fun, all of the positivity. I saw you went to Harvard for a program. How was that
Yeah.
experience? Seeing the public health infrastructure there and seeing the public health here. Were some differences that you saw, and where do you think that we can improve?
So I gone there. It was a course made by MIT School of Management in Boston, okay, and Harvard Medical School, okay. So it was a life-changing experience, okay. What all I'm talking to you right now is like how I started seeing the world, how I started, earlier, okay, I was also like this, okay, why is not everyone talking about periods? Yeah, if I can talk, everyone should talk. What is this nonsense? Okay. Once I went there, okay, I was made to think. Think why, Nilashma, think. Okay. When I was made to think, I realized, okay, it is not just this. It goes down deeper. It goes down even more deeper. Even it goes down to like thousands of years back. So me getting impatient about why are other people not doing it is not gonna change it. You understand? So in Harvard, okay, one thing, yeah, it made me think a lot. It made me look at situations differently. It made me it made me like, if had I not gone there, I would have become like any other clinician which comes out of there. Thousands of clinicians which will pass out with me this year, okay? But because I've gone there, I've started seeing patients not just, like I told you, not just their mental and physical health, even their psychosocial health, their environment from where they're coming. I will always ask, okay, how many kids are, okay, it will be taught to you in your MBBS. You have to ask how many family members, but nobody does it. But because I have been made to think and think and think, I realize that she has these many family members. That means even though if she's telling me that she's taken her diet properly, she has not taken it. How many kids that do you have? If you have more kids in the family, even if they're not her own kids, there's a very good chance that, if I had told her to have milk every day, she's not had it. You understand? You have to think. Go down to the deep grassroots level. So that is that. Okay, in the medical education system over there, they are thinking, which we are not. Again, I will not say it's a bad thing over here. Over here, we simply just don't have the time to think. Over there, you're allowed to cut down. Okay, you're only supposed to say, suppose 20 patients per day. 20. I have today only seen some 200 something. You understand? So it is not possible for a lot of people to do it. But because I have seen what happens over there, I have been trained from there, I see it that way. It's just become a habit for me. So maybe yes, I do give 2-3 minutes extra. Over there, you're supposed to give 15 to 20 minutes just for history taking. You should see our speed over here. 5 minutes and we've gotten everything we want from them, okay? But you have to practice to get that speed, okay? Again, it is a good thing, it is a bad thing. Sometimes patient will not give you the history and all, but then you have to keep asking, you have to be after them, okay? So that's there. And then over there for research, again, you are given a specific set of time and they have a central, the most beautiful thing I loved over there was the central database system. My God, if I have an idea in my head right now I can make up a protocol and I can actually, I have data on my hand. I can see if my thinking is right or not. If this is if it's a pathway where I can do a research or not. That is not there in India, unfortunately. The thing is, we have a lot of data simply because we have a lot of population. Even the rarest in a month, like especially like because I work in a government checkup, monthly we will see the rarest of rare cases. Monthly, okay, which is sometimes seen in a year or 2 years abroad. But because we don't have a centralized database system, we are losing out on data, we are losing out on valuable data which could have, led to path-breaking research. Personally, I am very, I like doing research, but I am just so disappointed with the infrastructure here. I want to do so much, but it just takes up so much of my energy that, then the patient care suffers. So I cannot keep this above that. No. As a clinician, my first thing has to be my patient has to get out of here absolutely fine. I have to do justice to her care. And then it does not leave me much time to do research. I have so many ideas. So much, you observe. When you see so many patients, you observe. And from that observation stems your research. If I have seen 100 patients today, tomorrow, day after, every day, in a week, we'll see some 1,000 patients. Out of those 1,000, I've seen 5 patients have this typical complaint. But that is very small data. I need to see on a basis of lakhs of patients, right? That is possible only when we have a centralized system. So that is something which I wish, if not immediately, at least in the next, by the time I retire, at least, please, it should come, it will be
Sure, it will.
amazing if,
I'm sure it will come in a few years. Like a lot of doctors, just like you, are voicing their concerns, voicing their opinions using social media. So I'm sure the government will change things a bit, and everything would be better. Even now with COVID, I feel the situation was so bad, yet all the doctors handled it so well. Even doctors in my family, they were working day and night. So yeah, all of you will absolutely get the best that you deserve in the future.
hopefully. But the sad part is you may not know this, the percentage of GDP that is directed towards healthcare is really bad in India. So hopefully the ministers and the
Fingers
people
crossed.
sitting at the high
Yeah.
level realize, yeah, this is the sector they should be more focused on. But yeah, let's see, we'll get there. Hopefully now people are realizing as and as people are getting more woke. So that's there.
Like you said, that you were very impatient when people weren't, open to talk about menstruations, or were like, why are you talking about menstruation? So, how do you personally deal with people who stereotype such stuff, who are a part of the um, set that they don't want to break that taboo? How do you deal with those kind of people?
And you asked me, like, as they say, you change with experiences, okay? Initially, I could just be like, really? Really? Now I have to break down this to you. Really? Okay, like I can't. Okay, you're like educated. I'm not gonna tell this to you. Okay. Then I was like, okay. Then I grew, I evolved. Okay. Then I was like, okay, fine. It's okay. You know what? It's not gonna change in a day overnight. But if I start talking about it, people will follow suit. You understand? Like they say, the change begins at home. So like I don't let if my mom is very cool that way, okay. But then sometimes if she goes out, she'll be like, अरे अरे period, okay, fat shit like I'm like मम्मी यार खोल के लो कुछ भी होता है ठीक है क्या कर रहे हो आप okay. So then she started doing it. You understand? Then from my family I started, okay. In front of me nobody will try to hide their past and then it will be kept here only. My mom will be like, you should keep it in some drawer inside. I'm like, why? If I open my cupboard, I should be able to see how many pants I have left. Whatever, I have to go buy it. Okay. So then more of my friends started talking about it. And then most of my social circle, we don't mind about it now. So you have to be patient. What I have learned in all these years is you cannot change something which has been practically part of our DNA, you can say, because it has been culturally present since
It has been
ages.
embedded in us, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to be patient. You have to start from within yourself. If you are not comfortable, roaming around with a pad in your hand, you better not be, preaching what you are not practicing. Nobody is gonna follow you. You understand? So you have to start from yourself and then people around you and then, widen and broaden your circle. It will happen slowly. You have to be patient. That's the only thing. If now somebody comes and talks to me like, hey, I can't hear. Speak loudly. Yeah, I'm sort of hearing. I listen to very loud music. Okay. You mean periods? Is that what you mean? Then you're like, oh, okay, I'm like, listen, chill. Okay. Nothing. It's just you and me over here. At least to me, you can. At least I'm like your OBGYN. Okay. I'm about to look at your private parts. You can talk to me freely. You understand? So at least you start breaking the stigma of people around you and slowly it will catch and you have to be very patient. It is not gonna happen overnight. Like I told you, you have to observe why, even in an educated society, why are they not still talking about it? Okay. Because at home they have their grandparents. They can't talk about it in front of them. You understand? So it will take time, it might take an entire generation.
It
You
has
understand?
been it
Maybe it's
has
your
been in the past generation. So yeah,
yeah.
it will take a time as it is
Even
so
I will be
deeply
that way
embedded.
when I start throwing pads at my grandkids if I become a crazy grandmom. Then yeah, maybe So yeah, it will take time. And maybe with our generation and the ones that come next, it is gonna be much, much, much better. But I would feel it should happen a bit faster because they wait करने के चक्कर में we are losing a lot of lives, unfortunately. So that is why actively also the social media where we should start talking about it. We should which we have. And now with all this, low rate data plans and all, there are access to social media everywhere. Okay, so now it's just like people have to accept it also. That will come. And with the aggressive nature that we've started propagating about menstruation and all, I think it will happen a bit more faster than I was expecting 5 6 years ago to happen. So I'm a little excited about that. So that's
That's
there.
nice. A lot of girls get to know about periods through the talk from their mothers, if I may say so. Like, their mothers take them to the room, just shut the door, and they're like, "Aisa aisa hota hai," and stuff like that. What and most of the information that they provide are factually inaccurate or not something that they should tell their daughters or put the same what they know which is wrong to their daughters. Don't pass the wrong stuff. So what are the do's and don'ts of a mother who wants to provide the talk to her daughter maybe?
See, again, like I wouldn't know what my mom went through when she was telling me. You understand? Every mother has a different experience of how when she was a girl, of how when she got the talk of what situation she is in right now, okay? And maybe they belong to one family where they're not openly about to talk about it. So she cannot, it's a very difficult to roll down the do's and don'ts because, every person's scenario is different. But yes, I will say at least now, when, people have started talking about it, it's good to, educate yourself first. Okay, okay, periods happen, they will happen monthly. You should keep a track of your cycle. You should not get scared when they happen. You should be aware when they're about to happen. You should carry your sanitary napkins with you if you know you're going to a place where it is not going to be accessible and all that. But yeah, if I feel if the new generation moms should first educate themselves, then with a broad and open mind, open to questions from your daughters. That is the biggest thing, biggest gift I feel they can give to their daughters. Allow them to question you, allow them to question you without getting angry. You understand? So that is something which I feel that that should be done. But I think it will happen. No strict do's and don'ts. Just educate yourself because we're about to educate the next generation, okay? And then think and sit down. And if your daughter is asking a question which you don't know the answer to, it is fine to take her to a proper clinician also. You understand that she had these questions and I'm not able to answer them. Can you please answer them for me? And it is good if you teach me also. Okay. And I really feel moms should educate their sons also, not just the daughters. The sons also should get the thought
Absolutely, yeah. It
about
should
what
go
happens
both
to
ways. Yeah.
also. Should not be just limited to the daughters, I feel. So yeah, if you feel you are not well equipped, you should take them to a doctor. They will be more than happy to teach them about it in a very casual, fun, relaxed way, okay? And if at that level only we educate that young girl, she is gonna tell her friends, no, I got it. I got this information from a very reliable source. I got this from a doctor and she told me. So, her friends will go and tell their mothers and their mothers. And, even in retrograde, we can spread information. So don't, I feel, and as it is moms, poor cute moms have so much pressure on them to be perfect, okay? So no do's and don'ts. If you feel you don't have adequate information, just bring them to us. We will teach them and we will teach you also, okay? But yeah, mostly just please don't tell your girls to be scared. Okay, it happens. It happens to all of us. Don't if you were brought up with some restrictions, don't try not to enforce it on the next generation. Okay, teach them to be more bold, teach them to be more fierce, and entertain their questions. Allow them to question you. I was a very curious kid. I used to ask everything about anything. I have landed my parents in a lot of soup most of the time. बहुत embarrassing question पूछे मैंने बहुत. So yeah.
That's actually a good thing. So for daughters, be curious, and for mothers, educate yourself and your daughters and sons. Because I feel like even in schools, the teachers hush the students, like don't talk about periods in front of boys, hide your pad and whatnot. So boys should know about it as well and should be open to both the genders. As an OBGYN, what do you think is the best product to use during your periods, the most sanitary product, and something that isn't costly or can be easily accessible? Because I feel like a lot of people in the underprivileged slum areas, they use what is something that I
Cloth.
observe. Yeah, cloths.
They use cloth. They use ash. They use a lot of things.
Yeah,
I mean, I have learned from you, so like, ये भी use होता है. ये क्या है? What is this material? ये होता क्या है?
yeah,
So there is no such thing like rank number 1, 2, 3, nothing like that. It is individually suited to people's need. Okay. Suppose if you are more comfortable using your sanitary napkin, go ahead with it. But then remember to change it. Don't keep wearing the same one for like 24, 48 hours. Nothing. You find the closest washroom, at least 8 to 12 hours, you should change it. If you're comfortable using tampons, 8 hours, you should change it. Okay. If you want to go ahead with a menstrual cup, which is, I think, a very nice alternative method, which has now come, which is now becoming accessible to all of us in India. It's a very good thing, but it takes a little bit of practice. But once you're comfortable with that, it saves you on a lot of, it does not generate a lot of waste because it's reusable. You understand? But then again, you should clean it. You should at least, put it in some boiling water and just sanitize it and then use it. So there is no, you should do what makes you comfortable. That's it. That should be your thing. You should try everything. If you have a doubt, you should approach a gynecologist who will teach you. You should come to us with the product that you want to use. Suppose you want to use a menstrual cup, you want to use a tampon, just come to us with it. Okay, that this is the thing I want to use. We can tell you if it's the right size or not. We can tell you if it is suited for your need or not. Sometimes there is this myth that if you use a tampon, it is like, you've lost your virginity and all that. So all that also needs to be addressed. Okay, they have this deep-rooted fear about that thing. Okay, and sometimes because you've seen, okay, tampon has just to be inserted inside. No, we will teach you the correct way to insert it also. If you're right there in front of me, I can guide you. You understand? Instead of just blindly trying to follow the thing, then yeah, you should explore. If this cycle you use napkins, next cycle you can use a tampon, next cycle you use a menstrual cup, then see what works for you best. But in terms of cost saving, I will say, yeah, menstrual cups are good because, like I said, they're reusable. So
Good
yeah, and
for the
in fact,
environment as well. Yeah.
yeah. So that is the thing which I am like nowadays trying to like lean more towards it. But then I think we still have a long way to go when people start accepting it. But yeah, I think all social media people are talking about menstrual cups and aggressively promoting, it, which is a very good thing.
Yeah.
Because see, imagine now people are not using this sanitary napkins because they feel it is supposed. I think around I don't know. I mean, it's pretty. If you go to a slum area and you tell them like you have to buy napkins from the whatever little amount you earn in a day, they won't. They would rather feed themselves and their kids, right? But something which is reusable, which like if we do a little more research on that, which can be made even more cheaper and more accessible, people will start using it. You understand? They have to buy it once. Suppose if we go to a lesser a cheaper version. Maybe it's a yearly thing. So I just things which I think about, how to innovate, how to, okay, a new thing has come in the market. A menstrual cup is now being available. What more can we do with this? You understand? It is suppose say 600, 700 rupees. How can I make it more cheaper? Like, without compromising. So it requires research, but like, I think if you go more towards that, we can make it more accessible to people so that will cut down on all this use of cloth and all those things. So that's there. But then again, people will not be very much accepting because of this concept of virginity in India, which is again coming from ancient ages. So yeah, that will be I think when I think about problems which will arise with this is one of those things is that will that misconception about using a menstrual cup or a tampon which is associated with your loss of virginity and all that. So that will be a biggest hindrance to like spreading it to the general masses. That's there.
I feel the four big takeaways from what you just said could be the first one being educate yourself, the second one being just you do you, whatever suits you. Third one being feel free to go to the doctor. You're so approachable. I'm loving talking to you right now. Even on Instagram, when I talk to you, it was so nice. Like you're so chill. And I feel all other doctors would be like that. And feel free to research, not only, people in science, but even normal people can research on menstruation as it is something that affects all the women and other people as well. Um, so coming to an end, coming to wrapping this podcast episode up, what is one advice that you would give to people who want to pursue medicine in the future?
Okay. Don't do it if your parents tell you to do it. Don't. You cannot sustain it. Don't do it because your friend is doing it. Don't do it because you've taken bio of क्या करना है life में. No. Do medicine only and only if you want to do medicine. I have seen so many of my batchmates who really did not want to do medicine and who were forced into medicine. One, that seed got wasted, वो तो अलग ही बात है. Somebody who really would have wanted to do it would have done it, okay? Second, their mental health, their physical health, I could see the life grow out of them. That is something which is not good, no? I mean, I joined MBBS when I was 17, okay? And I'm gonna turn 27 this year. That's like 10 years and I'm only studying. Do you understand? I have seen a lot of people just give up because they never really wanted to do it in the first place. So, your mental strength, your physical strength only has so much capacity that it can take. I mean, something I really, really, really love my branch. Okay, like I am the happiest when I'm in the hospital. Okay, it's really difficult to get me out of the hospital. Fine, even I have bad days. Even I have days when I call home and I'm like, क्या कर दिया अपने साथ मैंने ये क्यों लिया? Okay, then But the only reason I get out of it is because I wanted this. Okay, then I will go back to the labor room. I deliver one more baby, and I'm like, this is the moment, which made me decide, and this is the moment for which I'm gonna keep pushing, keep going. So the biggest thing I'll say to all future people who are preparing for NEET UG, don't do it if you are not into it. It is going to be the most difficult conversation of your life you will have with your parents, but please have it. I wanted to be a dancer. I'm not even gonna joke. My two options were dance or doctor. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. The only reason I didn't choose dance was because I was not that good at it. So I was like, I don't think I'm gonna get much ahead
I
at
feel
it.
you are a
Okay.
great dancer from all the reels I've seen on your
No,
account.
you should be professional dancers. You're like, okay. I was like, okay, I think, so that's why, like, after all these years, I kept dancing all through my UG also. In PG, I stopped because, I got very overwhelmed with the work and all. Then I started losing my sense of self, okay. Then, like, me and my set of friends and all, we were like, you know what? And because of COVID, we became even more isolated. We couldn't go out and we had to give in more extra shifts to the hospital. So then we realized, we are what we have. We are the only, like my batchmates, and we are the only family we have right now. And all festivals we celebrate in that. So we start having fun in the hospital only. As soon as duty gets over, we know we can replace somebody else for like 10 minutes, so they can come down and have cake or whatever we bought. So we celebrate all birthdays, all festivals, everything we celebrate in the hospital only. As busy as we are, 10 minutes, we'll put a message on the group, okay, okay, cake has arrived. Whoever is the free person that they will arrange everything. Okay, without any thinking, okay, I have arranged nothing. And then all the busy ones will come, they'll come. 10 minutes only is only what we spend together. Like, I'm not even gonna joke. There is not one picture that the 10 of us have together. The maximum postgraduates from my batch in one picture are 9. Not one, and we're about to finish our post graduation. Can you imagine that's how busy we are? But yeah, because we all love our branch, because we all love and we all chose to do this, we can still find happiness in this, extremely dire situation that we are in right now. So yes, the biggest thing I wish, and I this is to all parents also, show this to your parents if you have to. Uncle and auntie, please don't push your kids into this. It is not easy. Yes, you can tell the society कि मेरा बेटा doctor बन गया, okay, but at what cost? You know, allow your child to do something. Let them go. 1-2 साल वेस्ट होंगे ना लाइफ के, if you feel waste अगर हो रहा है, कोई नहीं. At least they would not have that regret कि, अगर हम ये करने दिया होता तो हम कुछ और अच्छा कर जाते लाइफ में. Let them explore. Please, okay, that's the biggest thing. Like, even after my MBBS, I thought that the reason why I went to Delhi was because towards the end of my MBBS, I was not sure. Am I meant to be a clinician, or should I do a MBA, or should I do a paraclinical branch? Do I have that connect with the patient? I was very lost because unfortunately in the Indian education system, they don't teach you about all this. So I was like, okay, what to do about this? I told my parents I want to leave house first. I want to go away because my home is in Pune, right? I was like, I'll go outside and I want to explore. I want to see if I am meant to. Then I went. I gave it my all in my internship. I gave it my all, and I realized I love being in the hospital. I love talking to patients. मेरा दिन बन जाता है. And the more patients I talk to, even though I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm irritated by the end of it, but I come back home with a smile on my face. So I realized I am meant to be a clinician. Okay. Then second thing, after internship got over, I was like, should I pursue my MS or should I go towards an MBA? I got into IIM Calcutta. Okay. So, and then I got this seat. So again, it was a big conundrum. Okay. Then again, I went back to my internship. This I'm like, will you be happy doing a clerical job? Like, I am even an MBA hospital management is not easy. Don't get me wrong. Okay. It's very difficult because you have to have a knowledge about everything that's happening in the hospital, not just your branch. In fact, I will say the people who do hospital management and are running a hospital are more knowledgeable in a lot of cases than actual clinicians because they are seeing all branches and we are only seeing our own branch. But then again, my thing was I knew I will be happy only when I talk to a patient, on a one-on-one basis. Even though as an administrator, I can make a difference to more number of people. As a clinician, I have to be one-on-one. But then that gave me more joy. So I saw all my options before deciding on this one option, because this is going to be me for the rest of my life until and unless I decide to explore something else. Okay. So yes, just if you're not sure you want to be a doctor, then just take a step back. Talk to a few doctors. Go to your family friends, or if you don't have any family friends, you can go to a random general practitioner and ask them, do you have any regrets? What was your life? I had a very life-changing decision that made me want to become a doctor. So for me, that was a very different story. But so it's always good to talk to people around you and then decide. And if you don't want to do it, just sit down with your parents and talk to your parents about it. That's the biggest thing I'll tell you.
Explore and do what you want to, not what society or your parents condition you to. That's really great advice. Thank you so much for joining us. It was great talking to you. Truly an honor meeting you and talking to you. All the advices, I feel the students or the people who will be watching it will actually start talking about menstruations freely now and start exploring things.
Yes. Start questioning. That's my biggest thing.